Does Al Heyman being sick affect the PBC right now? I think it does because the PBC is an organization, a company that has a lot of guys that go through Al Heyman for certain advice and certain things they're looking for as far as the landscape of the business. And without dealing with him, they don't really know how to put up certain fights. I know we saying recently that Charlo was actually doing some things, trying to put some fights together with Andre at the last minute. And I told people over the years when they were saying, "Oh yeah, Andre did bad business and he doesn't want to do the fight and he pulled out the fight." Man, we seen guys pull out all kind of fights, and we see now that that fight was never hard to make, man. Like I was telling people over the years, they just had certain business plans and fights they was doing. Everybody mostly does in-house fights, but I noticed lately that PBC, they got to be the ones that do the in-house fights, which they do. Everybody else does the in-house fights, but a lot of people look at them as the ones that need to get the ball rolling on doing those type of fights, because if not, they're not gonna get done. And a lot of people look at, you can look at Stephen Fulton Inoue fight getting made. That was PBC stepping in and helping Inoue also get undisputed, because wouldn't have been able to do that without fighting a guy like Stephen Fulton. Yeah, but with Al Heyman operation being down, then last couple of weeks Don King was down. Um, just that whole situation is not good, man. The whole operation is ran with Al Heyman at the helm, and if he's not up there making these moves, it can get done. They still have other people that can do it, but it's just not the same because he deals with the fighters on a day-to-day basis with their personal things they do and how they move. So it is what it is, but they do a decent job at the things they do. They do a very good job at the things they do. Try to stay out the spotlight. As well as, Don King, he's been in the spotlight a lot more over the years, but lately he's been making some moves. But with these guys being sick recently, you see that boxing takes a hit. Boxing definitely takes a hit. I know Adrian Broner wanted to get in the ring a lot more, leaving PPC and going to Don King. Well, shoot, Don King, he got situations going on just like Al Heyman. And that's crazy because both of those guys are, those guys don't really move around that much. But yeah, both of these guys know each other, both from Cleveland. Him and Don King been having some situations. But the way he puts fights together, man, he has to be able to come back because he knows how to do business. That's why these fighters are over there with him. They know that he can get the job done when it comes to certain business deals, and he knows certain people to get in contact with, and certain people just won't. They won't get involved, man. It's not really something they look into. They're not trying to get involved, man. They just don't want to. You mess up a bad business deal, it's gonna be bad. And if you're somebody like Tank Davis right now, and you're trying to get the fight done, and it keeps getting moved, and now they talking about sticking it on Dave Benavidez card, that's not something ideal that you want to do if you're Tank Davis. So yeah, you gotta think about stuff like that. Also, you have to think about the things that changing in boxing right now with Turkey on the sheet, them moving around. A lot of these guys can get fights done very easily, but it's not going to be in the same kind of manner that Al Heyman would do it. But it's going to be a big fight though. If that's what you're looking for, then try to make the big fight happen. But I've noticed how operations have changed. And with Al Heyman, Don King not being around right now, those two guys being sick, with the history they had with boxing over the last however many years, entertainment, yeah, boxing definitely taking a hit. But with Turkey on the Sheep putting up fights though, that's better than nothing. Because without that, we would have had little to no fights actually happening. I know pro boxers putting on fights and everything else, but a lot of these guys are working together right now. So because they know the talent that's in boxing right now is not going to be around forever, and it's been wasted for a while now. It's been built up, but it's mostly wasted. I would say that it mostly has been wasted, but it's been built up over time though. That's why you got guys like Caleb Plant, Charlo. These guys is big names now. They don't have to go around and uh, just do little things to get by. They're big names now. So I definitely look at that situation. I say, yeah, well, they can get some stuff done. It's not that bad. But it is that bad when you think about it. Because look at the fights that they're going to make now. They don't really have any plans right now. The plans were Tank, Spence, Morrell was going to have his own card. Now when we had Dave Benavidez and Morrell thing, that's good. But now they're trying to push all that on the card. And I thought Tank Davis' card was going to have a whole bunch of fights on it. Now it's getting moved. So I don't know. It's a lot of outside things going on. But hopefully with Al Haymon and everybody, with these situations they got going on now, they'll be able to bounce back. You know, Al Heyman's definitely been going through some things. Since last year, really, he's been going through some things, but more so this year. And it's not good, man. Definitely not good. It's not good for the sport either. It's not good for the sport at all. This is definitely not good because ain't nobody else, and people complain about it, but ain't nobody else Canelo trying to make a fight with right now. I mean, he's making some fights with PBC and stuff, but these other guys, he ain't trying to make too many fights with them right now. You already know he has issues with Oscar, so a lot of stuff ain't getting done. But this is definitely serious, though. This is definitely serious. Yeah, I didn't realize how serious it was until recently, but this is very serious. And then Don King has a lot of fighters on his roster right now who can actually be available and go other places. He has champions on his resumes. I mean, on his in his stable. So it's getting wild right now. But they got to start making these fights happen. They pushing back way too many fights. The fights in America is not really going like it's supposed to, and it's getting slower, and the numbers getting lower and lower and lower. I know BLK Prime just put on a good event, and they were trying to get a couple of fights done. They were trying to get a couple of fights done, but this is going to slow down PBC, though. And I'm going to be honest with you. With these guys being 33, 34, 35, scrambling around trying to look for fights and have no idea what direction their career is going in, that's bad. It's bad. That's a bad sign for everybody. That is a bad sign for everybody. That is not something we need to be seeing right now. That is a bad sign. Didn't want to make it seem that way, but it's a bad sign, though. It really is. That really is a bad sign. I mean, these fights are going to be close, but you got to be able to make these fights even closer when you're getting them done. They got to be done back to back every 6 months, 4 months. You should already know what you're doing. It's like only certain fighters have a schedule put together, and everybody else have to go around it. And not every promoter is going to be able to take care of business in a way that, Al Heyman, he might not be able to get to everyone at one time. because there's so many fighters, but he'll try to make something happen. I've seen guys at least try to get something done in a career. You're not gonna be able to try to satisfy every boxer. It's not gonna happen. Um, I've seen record labels over the years have thousands of rappers. Jay-Z done had rappers around him for days. Diddy done had rappers around him for days. They ain't got nobody around him no more. So I can compare that to Al Haymon's situation. Hey, he probably ain't got a couple guys around him, but when they was around, they had success. They made more money than they ever did, and also bigger name than they ever been. And he's taking care of hundreds of people, thousands. Taking care of thousands, so people got to realize that. Because I know, as far as how he's helped people. He's helped people in a lot of ways, bro, trust me. And most of it's not boxing. Like, personally, he be helping these guys. And then I be thinking, like, bro, why these guys, the family around these guys ain't really helpful? They ain't got to put no money in nobody's pocket, but mentally, they should be having these guys in a good place. But they don't even do that, though. They be having their hands out sometimes. So Al Haymon, he got to sit up here and keep these guys and help these guys stay mentally strong through all this stuff they be going through, because half of these guys be having money issues and family and a lot of things that go on outside. Well, you already see now. You could just imagine Al Haymon get a phone call, man, Earl Spence flipped this car. You could just imagine getting that phone call. Or Charlo wrecked this Lamborghini. So, you could just imagine, bro. That's why he's like, of course he's, at this time right now, it's like, bro, this man needs rest. Prayers to him. Hope him and Don King gets better, but this is a very serious situation. People just look at the matchmaking and setting up the fights, but that's the easy part. The hard part is having to deal with all these boxers at one time. It's very difficult. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.